Hi guys, welcome back to Ladensercrochets. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. My name is Liz. Kindly subscribe and join the family. In this tutorial, we're making a very simple purse. Check it out. It's so nice. This is a project that is going to last you just an hour and you're going to end up with something amazing. I totally love this and I hope you're going to love it too. We need a very small hook. I'm using a 1.1 millimeter crochet hook and another one 3.5. Then you're going to need a zipper and some medium weight yarn, a pair of scissors and a darning needle. You'll also need some stitch markers. 2 will be enough. Get the small hook, the yarn and the zipper, and we're going to start on the right side of the zipper at the end. Right there, just insert your hook and go through a point at the end of the zipper and then take the yarn and pull it through with the hook. Then we're going to chain 1. So chain 1 and that's going to be our first single crochet. Then again we're going to insert the hook into the zipper at a point about 0.5 inches apart and pull up the loop to get 2 loops, then complete a single crochet. And then we go to another point on the zipper like around 0.5 inches apart, pull up the loop to get 2 loops on the hook. So just pull up that loop and yarn over and complete a single crochet. So now I have 3 single crochets. So now I'll keep going. You might need a smaller hook to make this process easier. As you can see, I was struggling to get through the zipper to poke the holes and create the single crochets, but then with a smaller hook like a 0.5 millimeter or 0.7, it would be a bit easier to get through the zipper. So I'm just going to work like this all the way to the end of the zipper on this side that I'm working on. So you just want to place 1 single crochet 0.5 inches apart. Actually centimeters. I've been talking about inches. Inches is such a big measurement. So it's like 0.5 centimeters apart and not inches. So let me keep going with the single crochets throughout the zipper and I'll meet you at the end. This is going to be my last single crochet because I've come to the end of the zipper, and as you can see that's the end. Then I'm going to chain 2 at this point, chain 2 and go over the zipper to the other side. And now we want to align the stitches on the second side with the stitches on this side. So you just want to ensure that you're working a single crochet that is completely aligned with the single crochet on the other side. So just ensure that they are on the same line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure that you're going to get the same number of stitches as you had on the other side. So I'll just keep going, aligning the stitches, making sure that for every single crochet on the other side, we have another single crochet on this second side that I'm working on. I'm doing my last single crochet, and then I'll chain 2. Then I'll go over the zipper again to the starting stitch that we have on the other side of the zipper and do a slip stitch, and that will be the end of our row 1. So slip stitch right there to complete the first row. So you're just doing that into that very first stitch, and then chain 1 and get the 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and we're going to start working with it. After chaining 1, we turn to begin row 2, and we're going to begin into the chain 2 gap, and into that chain we're going to place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Then we're going to go onto the single crochet from the previous row and do a single crochet into the next stitch, a single crochet into the stitch that follows, then another single crochet next, single crochet into the next stitch, into the next one, and now we're going to work 1 single crochet into every stitch till we've gone all the way around. When we get to the chain 2 at the corner of the zipper, we're going to do 2 single crochets into that chain. So let me work till I get to the 2 chains, and then I'll show you what to do right there. Then continue on to the other side. I'm working the stitch just before the chain 2, then I'll turn into the chain 2 and place 2 single crochets into that chain 2 gap. So that is 1 and 2. We're just going into the gap. Then we're going to turn to the other side onto the stitches, place a single crochet into each of the stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm coming to the end of that row, and right here I have a single crochet, and that's my last single crochet. Then I'll slip stitch into that first stitch that I did, then chain 1 and turn to begin row 3. Now to begin row 3, I want to double my strands. You can double with the same color or another different color, and I'm doing that with pink, and this is what I'm doing to double up. As you can see, go into the first stitch and pull up the 2 loops, and then pull through the 2 loops to complete the single crochet. Then I'm going to work over that short end, and I'm just going to place 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way round. So just go on placing 1 single crochet into every stitch. The reason why I'm doubling my strands is to ensure that I get a pass that is a bit firm, and that is also the reason why I'm working with single crochets and not any other stitch. So the pass is going to be very firm, like it will have a nice shape. So now keep going, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. So you're going to go all the way around till you get to the corner, placing 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then you're going to turn to the other side and continue with 1 single crochet until you come to the point where we've begun row 3. I'm in the last stitch, and right there I'm going to do my last single crochet. Then I'll do a slip stitch onto the first stitch that I did to complete row 3. So do the slip stitch, and that is what we have so far. As you can see, it's folding in, and you can fold on the other side like that. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn to begin row 4. Begin in that very first stitch with a single crochet, then a single crochet into the next stitch, a single crochet into the third stitch, and now we place just one single crochet all the way around till we get to the end of row 4. I'm at the end of row 4, and I'll do a slip stitch into that first stitch right there. Then chain 1 and turn to begin row 5. And now from here, we're just going to repeat that same row. All you need to do is work one single crochet into every stitch till you get to the end. Before you start a row, you chain 1 and turn, and always begin in the first stitch. So row 5, we begin it into that first stitch, place a single crochet into it, and then a single crochet into the next stitch, and a single crochet all the way around. So I'm going to work a total of 13 rows, and once I'm done with the 13 rows, I'll come back and show you what to do next. So let me do that, then come back. After the 13 rows, this is what I have, and we can confirm that by counting. So that's 13, and my pass is almost done. We're going to get stitch markers and mark the ends of the bag on each side. So that corner and the other corner on the other side. Mark the stitches that are on those two corners. After marking, I'll get my hook and get back to that loop where we've ended row 13, and I'm going to chain 1, then turn, and we're going to start with a reduction. So chain 1 and turn, and insert the hook into the first stitch and pull up a loop, insert into the second and pull up another loop to get 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 3 loops. The next stitch will get 1 single crochet, the next one will get a single crochet, and we're going to work 1 single crochet into every stitch until we have 2 stitches remaining before the stitch marker. Now the reduction is happening before and after the stitch marker, and that is why we've begun with a reduction on this end, because the stitch after the stitch marker is where the reduction is supposed to start. Now I'll keep going till I get to 2 stitches before the second stitch marker, then I'm going to do another reduction at that point. So keep going, I'm almost there. Just placing 1 single crochet into every stitch, and now we have 2 stitches remaining, so we're going to crochet those 2 together just like that. Then at the stitch marker, pull it out, place a single crochet into it, then mark that stitch so that you can remember where the reduction will happen next in the next row. Then we're going to reduce in the next 2 stitches. We crochet 2 together. So you insert your hook into the first stitch and pull up a loop, into the second pull up another loop, then yarn over and pull through the 3 loops. Then continue with 1 single crochet into every stitch until you have 1 stitch. You have 2 stitches before the next stitch marker. So just keep going with 1 single crochet all the way to that point before the stitch marker. I'm 2 stitches before the stitch marker, so I'll crochet those 2 together, just like that. And then at the stitch marker, that's my last stitch, I'll place a single crochet, then slip stitch at the end, slip stitch into that first stitch to complete row 14, and we're going to chain 1 and turn to begin row 15. Again, we're going to reduce in row 15, but start with a single crochet in the first stitch, then combine the next 2 stitches together into 1 single crochet. Then we place 1 single crochet into every stitch till we get to 2 stitches before the stitch marker that has remained. So I've not marked the first one because I'm not going to reduce again. This is my last row of reduction, which is actually the last row. So I'll work till I get to 2 stitches before the stitch marker, and then we're going to reduce and continue to the end. I have those 2 stitches, so I'll crochet them together and then remove the stitch marker. Into that stitch marker we're going to place a single crochet, just one single crochet, and then in the next 2 stitches we crochet them together. Sorry, let me go back into that stitch and place 1 single crochet, then crochet 2 together, and yeah, like that. Then we continue with 1 single crochet into every other stitch until we have 2 stitches remaining at the end of the row. So the last reduction will be at the end of this row. I'm at the end, so I'm crocheting those 2 stitches together. Slip stitch at the beginning to complete the row, chain 1 and cut off the yarn. Make sure that you leave a long tail that we're going to use to join the stitches at the bottom, just to close up our bag. Then pull through and fasten, and we're going to use a darning needle to do the close up at that point. And as we do that, you want to make sure that you're on the wrong side of your bag, so turn your work to the wrong side of the bag and get the darning needle. Then we're going to use it to sew the stitches at the bottom part of the bag together. Now put the yarn through the yarn needle and start sewing. Just going to sew the first stitch on one side, then I'll go onto the other side and go through the first stitch, then the second stitch onto this side and the second stitch on the other side. And now keep sewing, just keep sewing like this until you get to the end. You can actually do the joining part using single crochets, or you can use slip stitches, but I've chosen to go with the sewing method using the darning needle. So just keep going to the end and I'll meet you there. Once you get to the end, we're going to do a knot, and then after the knot, the only thing that will be remaining is to weave in the remaining end in the stitches just to secure it. So go on within the end. Cut off the remaining piece of the yarn, and we are done with our pass. Now we're just going to turn it to the right side, just like this, and you can attach a lining if you want. I'm okay with mine like this. So now just make sure the zipper is on the inside like that. I'm just putting it in shape, and the pass is ready. I actually did not expect it to turn out this good. I love the outcome. What do you think about it? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Like, subscribe and share, and see you in the next tutorial.